Hello and welcome, treasure hunters, detecting friends, whoever you may be. This evening, as you know, it's guest interview night, and tonight we have an updated friend, Peter Floyd from America. He does all sorts of things, and so we're going to get an update from Pete, what he's been up to. I'm sure it'll be fascinating, interesting. Of what he's found and what he's producing. Also, he's producing some interesting things. So let's welcome Pete on. Here we go. Hiya, Pete. Welcome, matey. You all right?
Hey, as we say over here, howdy.
Howdy. Yeah. Well, now, what you been up to then? Start from the beginning, from last time we spoke.
Which has been about how long? Do you remember, John? About how long?
I think it's been about 6 months.
6 months. So I've been in the field. Of course, our winters in Ohio are harsh. And we had an extra harsh winter this winter. So we had to deal with quite a bit of frozen ground. But, you know, January, February, whatever, I'm out if I can get into the ground. I found a few virgin home sites. One thing that we do in America, especially in rural country, which we have these wide open spaces and huge fields, but there were hundreds of houses that were there, you know, 100 years ago that aren't there anymore. So we're able to get on the web and find the township maps and, you know, go into these fields and recover things. I had actually a couple virgin sites I was able to get on. Then others that had been hit, but I was able to still recover some stuff. Let me make sure I get the camera. It says 5, and then it has 13 stars, which is for the colonies.
Oh, lovely.
And this is 1865, which is old for us.
That's
you
old,
guys,
yes,
I mean, yeah.
And what
but
is
it's a nickel, 5-cent piece.
Oh, all right.
And we call it a shield nickel, and here's why. Let me see, I got to flip it, I know. There's the there's the shield and the ivy.
Oh, yes.
This piece, and this site was not virgin. I could tell there were very few high tones, but somebody passed this because we know nickels, you know, they ring lower here in America. We know that. And I got a hit, looked down. This coin was actually lying on the surface.
Oh, I see.
And it has a lot of detail to it, and I was just absolutely tickled to recover this.
Oh,
So this is one of my prize finds from last very early spring, probably early March, and it was still cold.
Nice,
Yeah.
that, mate.
It's such a wonderful hobby. It really is.
Can you just say for the viewers, you know, exactly where?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio.
And a huge agricultural area. We have some of the richest farm ground in the world. Pardon?
What county is it, Pete? County?
Champaign County. It's a French word, Champaign County.
Oh, yeah. Champagne. Well, what do you know about that?
We have what we call largies or large cents. They were the cents produced after or before the smaller Indian head penny. A lot of us probably seen the Indian head pennies.
Yes, yes, we have, yes.
With the Lady Liberty with the bonnet. This is Lady Liberty. This is one of my really, I think it's a 1848. I have a little trouble finding the lens. Let me try to get the light to hit it right.
That's it. That's exactly. Yeah, that's it.
That's
right,
it.
Just stop there. Don't move. That's it.
Okay.
Just about see something.
It is 48, I think. But a lot of detail on this coin. And these bronze coins, they turn that green, that patina, and they are just so stunning, especially when you get this kind of detail. I know the camera does not probably do it justice.
Oh, no, you can see it now. You can spin it around now. We've seen the front. Turn it around.
Okay, it says 1 cent. Let me try to hold it still.
Put it flat and keep it steady.
I'm not very steady, John.
1 cent. I can see it now.
Right.
Yeah, I can see 1
And
cent.
then the ivy wreath,
And the ivy
and then
wreath.
United States of America.
Yeah. What was the date again?
I think it's 1848.
1848.
I got about 40 of these, 35 or 40 of these.
I'm doing all right then.
I have got a large cent that I dug way out. We were probably about a mile off the road. And I looked at it and I said, what the heck? And I finally took it back to the car. And I thought, why in the world would anybody drill a bunch of holes in a coin? Because it is a coin. As a matter of fact, they actually left the date intact. I think it's 1828. I put it up on a website, and they said possibly what they did, they use this for a sprinkling can top.
Yes, looks like
a shaker or a sprinkling can top to sprinkle their clothes and to iron them. Now, I thought whoever saw that, you see what I'm saying, knew their stuff. I was really impressed. But it makes sense, doesn't it?
Doesn't
Somebody took a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
But that's our large cent. Well, right. It probably wasn't money. It was probably obsolete money by the time they did that. So once the money becomes obsolete, then you can do what you want with it. It's like they always talk about, if they do away with the U.S. penny, the coppers, a lot of guys will cash in because copper's worth more than a penny. It's just, I do have another coin I do want to show you. This is that I love. I got 2 of them. This is our Jefferson nickel or 5-cent piece. I don't know whether any of you do any like coin roll hunting in the UK, but this is what they call a clip planchet. See how it got clipped?
Yes, we have. Yes.
In the minting, and these can bring a price on eBay. I've seen people pay up, well, depending on how big the clip is. But if you ever see anything like that in your change, make sure you get it. Because
that's in the USA.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I suppose you
will be getting that in our change.
Same way we do.
Is that silver, Pete?
No, it's 40 or 80% copper, and the rest is nickel, and then I think some zinc.
So it's just the value is just in the type of the coin itself.
What it represents, yes, the shrinking U.S. dollar.
Okay, all right.
But a clip planchet. As far as what I've dug, I'm going to flash this up here. This is not a very good way to do it because we get glare. One thing that a lot of us recover in the U.S. is the Chinese coin. Let me make sure I'm in.
Yes, I found some myself, Pete.
You do have them in Britain, then. Yes. I did not know that.
Chinese cash coins. That's where the word cash comes from.
I got you. I didn't know that. Yeah,
well,
this is 1700s here.
1700s,
right. We have a lot of Chinese work on the railroads over here, so I assume that's some of it. So,
well, with that hole, you know what they used to do with the hole? They used to thread it with wire or thread it with thread, and that's where they keep the coins together.
Right. We used to. That was a thing. Well, it was probably practiced all over the world, but putting a hole in your silver coin to make sure you didn't lose it, you sew it in your coat. That was one thing I was always told.
Yes.
I have one other thing I think that your viewers might appreciate if they've ever studied Civil War history, our Civil War back in the 1860s. This was what they called now I wanted to say hard times token. It's what we called a Civil War token. Let me see if I can get it light to hit it.
Yeah, you want the light to hit it. That's it. We've got it. Yeah,
okay, that's a U.S. flag and the stars, and this was produced by the North. I don't know all the exact history, but on the back they put a warning, and it talks about anybody that would desecrate the flag, shoot them on the spot. So.
Never.
There was quite a bit of agitation between the North and South that they would produce something that was so candid.
A warning. Yeah.
You did want me to talk about some of my axes that I build.
Yeah, of course.
Let me show you something I think your viewers will appreciate.
Yeah, fine.
Right. When the settlers came, they didn't find shrubs or second growth timber. They found huge oak trees. I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 foot in diameter. Well, the axes they brought from the old country wouldn't handle that. So the blacksmiths got busy and built the broadaxe. This is my only recovered broadaxe head. I'm guessing it's probably 150, 200 years old.
Okay.
This is a protector. It has an official name which escapes me. I do all this work myself, the leather work. This is part of an old saddle. And of course that protects if you miss so you don't bust your handle. And then I make all the handles here. And this is a maple that I've made. Yeah, the broadaxe was used to hew logs into square timbers.
I see.
To build, and it is very sharp. So this is the only broadaxe, like I said, I have recovered. One tool you had to have was this axe. There would be no America without the axe. That's just why it kept you warm. It built your house. It did everything for you, except cook your breakfast.
Yeah.
In a sense, it did though, because it chopped your firewood. I would recover a piece, no matter what it was, and say, what can I make out of it? This is an old strap hinge that was on an old barn. You can see the holes where the screws were. I sharpened this end. This is sharp. I used horse rings, brass one and iron one. Put a bolt through the middle, and then there's the bit.
Oh yeah, there's an axe out
but you can see the other hinge hole.
Oh yeah.
There. And then the handle is made of cherry, repurposed cherry. There's actually a seam. It's glued and then pressed together. And then I give it a little name tag, which I can't remember the name of this one. So, but it throws like a dream. It'll stick every time.
Floyd axe. Oh.
Yeah. It's just it's brazed. I brazed this in with brass. And try to make it as ornamental as I could. It's just old and dirty right now. This is what they call a pole axe, which Vikings used a lot. But this kind of representative, I think, of what you had in Europe, pretty much the straight blade with just the straight beard. But this is very sharp. All this I welded and made, and this is a repurposed flat spring off of a buggy or an old Model T car. I don't know which.
Oh, well done. Okay. Yeah, got you now.
Yeah, it's tempered is what I have to do is heat it and take the temper out of it, bend it, and then retemper it.
I see.
So it's a wonderful throwing piece. It really is. And you've got to be about 20 feet away to get one revolution to get it to stick. But then see, we've got the protector, and see, then I put a buffalo nickel. Let me see, right there.
Oh yes, got it. Yeah. All right. Buffalo nickel.
Yeah.
Yep.
See the hump?
Yeah, I can see it.
And like I say, if anybody ever takes up axe throwing, you're going to break handles. So buy something cheap. Yeah, get your technique and then go for the higher price stuff. Yeah. So you'll get a kick out of this. This is the wrapping for the handle. It's this part is wood, and then we go to steel.
Oh.
Here, which this is copper tubing.
Right.
I recovered a piece of copper tubing. This part here is a foot valve off of a well pump. This is the part that went down in the well and kept the water from creeping back. It had a valve on a spring. So I used that, bolted it, and then here's another buggy seat, spring or a Model T.
Buggy spring, yeah.
Yeah, another. And it is very sharp. I will tell you that. So
Wow.
Just whatever I can put my hands to and see what I can do with it. That was the idea.
Yes.
And I've rescued, this is a piece of history. You know, I've rescued this, and it's going to live forever. So that's my mind. A timber spike, a 8-inch timber spike. It was sent to me from Arkansas. A gentleman saw some of my videos. He says, "Hey, I have this timber spike. I'll send it to you. You go ahead and make a throwing axe out of it." So, hey, fine. He sent it. This is American elm. Hold on. Yeah, the handle's American elm, which is a very, very hard wood. And there's the spike. And this was out of a bridge, a timber bridge that the trains used to run on years ago. And then there's the bit, and it's filled with brass. One thing I found out about some of the iron, if you don't get it hot enough, she'll crack. That's okay, because this accents it. I love doing the brass in the bits. Yeah, it flows in, heated up nice and red.
I didn't know that brass and iron can stick together.
Oh yeah. We use, it's called brazing. We put a little flux on there. You heat it up, the brass will just run right in. But she is a bear. You wouldn't want this flying at you, I guarantee you.
I never knew that the honeysuckle wood got that thick. It's only very thin in England.
Oh, it's gotten so intrusive, or it's ruined our woods.
Is it?
It's right in your face. It grows up and it's right in your face. A lot of guys are trying to get rid of it. I do have 1 or 2 woods where I can get in, and because I like to work woods in the summertime because we have such hot summers. But you get in some of them, and you either got to crawl or chop your way through. That's how bad it's gotten. I mean, it's like a jungle. Oh, I have lots of stories. Did I ever tell you this? I don't think I told you this scary story. This was a couple of years. If I can go back, I do a lot of night hunting because I have leukemia, and I'm supposed to try to avoid a whole lot of sunlight. So I'll go out at night. I have the headlamp. I have the net for my face, because if you have that light on, the bugs fly right in your mouth. Yes. It's terrible. I don't know what it was, but I was at an old farm site. The house was gone, but the barn was still there. There was something in that barn that let out. It wasn't livestock, because they didn't use the barn for livestock. I don't know what was in there, but I was scared to death. The hair stood up on the back of my neck. And I thought a minute. I threw all my stuff as fast as I could. I got out of there, and I haven't been back. I don't know what's in it.
What sort of noise was it, Pete?
It sounded like a bear. I'm not kidding you. And we don't have any bear around here, but they say raccoons can make really weird noises. But you don't want to tangle with a mother raccoon either. Let me tell you that.
Oh.
They're nasty critters. Yeah, they will. So I got out of there. Of course, we're allowed to carry firearms here, which I know you can't in the U.S., but I always have a firearm on when I go out, because sometimes I get a half mile off the road, and you don't know, you might encounter an old buck, a deer, and we do have wild hogs sometimes in the area that are reported, and you don't want to tangle with a sow or a boar. So I come loaded for bear. So
what do you have? What do you have then? What is the weapon you have?
It's a 38 snubby.
All right.
And then I carry a pepper spray too. And then of course you have your digging tool, which is a great weapon if you need it.
Do you carry a rifle, or you think that's not?
No, I'd be too heavy to carry. The 38. This has hollow points, and it has a super high velocity. They're plus Ps, high penetration.
Is it very accurate though, Peter?
No, it's defensive at a close range only. I've tried to do target shooting with it. It doesn't work out very well.
If you get someone gets too close, that's when you blam them. Gotcha.
Yeah, got to get him first hit.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah. Any other stories then, Pete?
Oh, stories. I think on our Facebook page, what was one question I asked somebody? I said, what was the most ridiculous thing or the goofiest thing or the funniest thing you did while metal detecting? Now, your viewers are going to get a kick out of this one. I went over to a site. I was standing there talking to the homeowner, a friend of mine, and I said, how are you doing today? And he said, fine. He said, you didn't need to dress up to come over to see me. And I had forgotten that I had a white shirt and a tie on underneath my coat, which was partially unzipped. I had done a show for our organization, forgot to take the tie and the shirt off. And so, yeah, I just put my coat on, went out the door. So here I show up to metal detect with a red tie and a white shirt on. It was good for a laugh. It really was.
Yeah.
We laughed. It was hilarious. It really was. Yeah. So.
Now, what about stories that things that happened to you? You know,
I've been out in woods at night, and you've got that headlamp on, and sometimes your imagination will get a little bit carried away, especially if you hear something. Sometimes limbs, rub together in the wind, and you get all these freaky noises. So then your imagination goes a little wild. And then with that beam out there, you start looking around the trees, and before long you start seeing faces because your imagination, that way.
Yeah,
I don't recommend you being in the deep woods in the middle of the night. I just
not on your own.
Do you use barbed wire over there much? Barbed wire for your fences?
Yeah, the farmers use barbed wire. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I figured they did, and those fellows can give you a lot of trouble at barbed wire. I know, and I'm sure you probably had the experience ripping your pants on that, and then you got that cold air blowing. It's like, I don't know what kind of head you call them, a head torch. I use the rechargeables. I get these that we have Amazon. We get these off Amazon. I love these. They mount to the bill, just so your viewers will know. But they mount to the bill, and they last for hours, and they're very bright. They're 400 lumens.
Oh yeah, and it gives a wide.
And then the little USB plugs in there, the micro, and charges, and they last for hours. And you can actually put two on your hat. If you got your hat tight enough, it'll drop down. This was a button I just recovered, World War II coat button. U.S. military. I'm not sure what branch. That was something I failed to look up.
Nice.
The eagle with the spread wings and the clutching the grain and something else there. I can't remember. And the globe over the top.
I wonder what it is.
She's starting to polish up. The original brass is coming through, but I think I'll go ahead and put gold gild on it. We all, when we're out, we see eyeball stuff that, your machine, like stones. And I was curious, because we find a lot of Native American stonework. The arrowheads, the hammerheads and stuff like that. I just was curious in your area whether you do recover stone relics in the UK. I assume you do.
We have flint stone workings.
Right, that's what we have, right? Or church.
Arrowheads and sharp tools in flint. And when they break them into shape, and it's called napping. When they
napping, right? I make my own arrowheads. This is one I started. This is chert, and I do the napping. Let me see. I think I might have a finished one. Here's a little point, which I have almost gotten done. I've had some graph system. We had these glass insulators, and they would take them sometimes and chip a head out of glass. I think I have one I started made out of glass. Of this piece, I would love to carve it into chip it into something. It's very, very thick.
Wow.
It's a bottom of something. I can't imagine a bottle being that thick. Look at that.
Oh.
But it's amber glass.
It's a lovely color.
It's beautiful.
I was going to say
it deserves to be made into something.
Does it feel like a resin or definitely glass?
It's definitely glass. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, beautiful color.
I know. Who keeps an axe in their briefcase? I do public speaking for the mental health community. And one thing I try to convey to our constituency is the importance of consumers of mental health services having a hobby. So anyway.
And you put the axe as a hobby. Yeah.
Yeah, I show people what I do. This is walnut handle. Yeah, okay, we'll go, and there is scales.
Yes.
And then you get, hold on, and then you get the dragon. I carved the dragon's head in that. Yeah. See, the teeth are made out of a glass bead I found, a marble. And then the eye, whoops, hold on, I don't know why I got to go the other way. There's the dragon's head, right? And the eye is a silver tack. All right. Okay, and then this is actually, somebody posted on our Facebook well, it's a lot older than what I thought. It was a 1,000-year-old Viking axe head. Oh. So I told her, the lady, I said, I'm going to try to replicate that. So this is what I came up with.
Beautiful. Oh, look at that. That is amazing.
Okay, and there is a, let me see if I get it right. Wow. Okay, there's the pro. Yeah, that's all etched into the steel, John. Okay, you want to try to see the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yes. Turn it round that way. That's it.
There we go.
God, blimey. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful, isn't it? What some work.
Okay, now here's the etching on the other side. You'll like this. It's a wolf. Let me get the light to hit it right. Yeah. Hold on there. Okay, we got to go this way. That's worse. Oh, but you can actually feel.
Flick it that way.
Yeah. Okay. There he is.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think. Oh, there you go. There you go. We've got it. Oh yes.
But it's actually in the metal.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it's really nice, that piece.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, wow. I don't throw this piece, John.
I bet you don't.
No.
That's
it's my pride and joy. Yeah. I've got a lot of hours in this axe head. And this I have the actual pictures of when I started, the actual video. This was an American axe head. I cut it down to represent the Viking axe. Then I welded relic iron or steel that I recovered on for the eye, and then did a lot of polishing. Nice. And then I trimmed it in gold gilt, which some of it has come off. Yeah, it got banged around.
Beautiful color combination. I still going out detecting then, Pete, as well.
Yeah, I try to get out every day. Sometimes I don't. Depends what I got going on. Yeah.
So you give you the full report of what you found, because I mean, it gives you plenty of time there to find something interesting and put a collection together, Pete. And maybe some.
Yeah, I can take anything I think and make it interesting. It's just
Yeah.
Thing I do.
Well, is that another coin you found?
Yes. It has quite a bit of value too. Oh. It's the Barber 1915D, and it was graded at very fine plus.
Wow.
Only 3 million struck.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what date's that then, Pete? Date? What's the date?
This was 1915.
1915.
Silver quarter. Yeah.
You know what? Do you know what that date is significant to?
No, tell me.
First World War.
15 is when it started. I always thought it was 17.
1914 it started and 1918 it finished. So that was in the First World War period when that was produced. We'll close up. Well, thank you very much then, Pete. You take care, and we'll link up. We'll link up sometime Christmas. Okay.
Okay. Hey, as we say in the U.S., here in the rural country, we'll see y'all.